Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series part 30. This is a series of videos where I rewrite Naruto making changes to improve the story for my personal taste. The goal for this video is going to be 3,000 likes within the first 24 hours. If we reach that, the next part of the rewrite is going to come out next Sunday. Senpai! Are we there yet? Not yet, Tobi. What about now? Not yet. What about now, Deidara Senpai? I told you we're not there yet. What about now? Shut up, Tobi, you wanna die? Senpai, you're so scary! Deidara and Tobi fly high up in the sky on one of Deidara's large clay birds. The sun shines high up. When we get there, you will know. The Waterfall Village has a massive tree in the middle of it. The locals think it's a type of god or something. It's hard to miss. So can you tell me the plan again? I told you 3 times already. I'm sorry, I was staring at a bird. Staring at a bird? You gotta focus, Tobi. We're gonna fight the 7 tails. It's not gonna be a breeze like the 3 tails. Well, but we don't really expect to fight the actual 7 tails, right? Just the Jinchuriki, right? I don't know what's gonna happen. Though fighting the full tail beast would be much better to show my art to the world. You wanna show your art to the Waterfall Village? I wanna show my art to everyone. You weird Deidara Senpai. Huh? I'm not the one wearing a butthole mask all the time. Oh, how rude, Senpai. But say, don't you think they are exploiting you? What do you mean? You've already captured 2 tail beasts. This is gonna be your 3rd one. Isn't that unfair for you? The more tail beasts I capture, the more chance I have to show my art. I applaud your enthusiasm, Deidara Senpai. Turning your indentured servitude into an opportunity to show your claim. What did you say? Deidara says, strangling Tobi with his suit-up arms. Big tree! Tobi says, pointing his finger to the horizon. Deidara releases Tobi and looks over there. They are approaching the Waterfall Village. The massive tree is indeed difficult to miss. So, Deidara Senpai, what's the plan again? They won't see us coming. From below, my creation will look like a normal bird. Besides, it will be hard to spot us with the sun behind us anyway. I'm then going to drop some of my C1 into the village around several different spots, causing distraction. We will use that and find the location of the Jinchuriki, swoop in, and capture her. I will perform my show. You stay out of my way, understand? But last time, I was pretty useful last time. I only gave you a chance to shine last time because we didn't have an audience, and because the 3 tails was rather weak. Oh, but Senpai, what if the fight gets difficult? It won't get difficult if you don't do anything stupid, Tobi. Hopefully the idiots in the Waterfall Village have a better art sense than the morons in the Sand Village. They arrive at the Waterfall Village, flying hundreds of meters above it. Senpai, you're a genius. There's no way this plan won't work. As long as you don't do anything stupid, as I said, it will work. Tobi peeks over the edge of the bird, looking below. Look! Deidara Senpai! The people look like they're ants from up here! It's Tobi slips off the bird and plummets towards the Waterfall Village. Deidara stares, paralyzed in disbelief. Tobi! He lands on the Waterfall Village, creating a small crater on the ground. The people nearby get scared, not knowing what happened. Some run away, others call for help. That one's gonna hurt tomorrow, Tobi says, looking down where he landed. He crushed an old lady into a pulp. Oh! I'm sorry. You see, Deidara Senpai's terrible at flying. I lost my balance up there, Tobi says to the lady's corpse. But at least you were pretty old already, so you didn't lose too much. It would have been much worse if I had landed on a baby. When the villagers surrounding the area see the lady's corpse and realize what happened, they panic, running and calling for ninjas. Hey! No need to worry. I'm pretty sure she didn't feel anything, guys. Come on! A small shinobi platoon arrives at the scene. Look at his clothes! He's an Akatsuki! Attack! They assault Tobi, throwing kunais, shurikens, explosive tags, and elemental jutsus. Tobi dodges them all. His moves are uncanny, difficult to predict. Whoa! Hold on! This was Deidara Senpai's idea! Don't blame it on me! More ninjas flock around Tobi, throwing everything they have at him, until he is completely surrounded by over 100 ninjas. I surrender! I swear, I won't do anything to harm your village. Dozens of clay birds fly towards Tobi's direction. They impact the ground, causing a chain reaction of explosives. Tobi and everyone surrounding him gets hit by the blasts. Ninjas are blown into pieces and thrown away by the shockwave. Another ninja platoon arriving at the scene spots Deidara on the large bird flying towards the village. He's over there! He even sacrificed his comrade to kill our man! Attack! They cast long-distance ninjutsus of all sorts against Deidara, who dodges them mid-air. Tobi! I was supposed to be the star of this show, not you! Deidara launches another volley of clay birds, exploding the ninjas below and also hitting buildings and civilians everywhere. Tobi exits the smoke of Deidara's explosions unharmed. I'm sorry, Deidara-senpai. I slipped, but if you were a better flyer, Deidara gives Tobi a death stare while he still tosses explosives on the village below, dodging attacks midair. Tobi turns back and runs. Ah! Deidara-senpai, you're too scary! I'm sorry! Listen up, Waterfall Village. You are about to experience the most sublime of arts. You should feel grateful. Going with an explosion is the best way to depart from this world because it is the one true art. Deidara tosses explosives towards the ground. The ninjas below try countermeasures. They attempt to intercept the falling bombs, but Deidara is tossing too many. His bird is also fast, and he's flying way too out of reach for them. He continues to bombard the village, hitting everything on his path. I even brought some extra clay for today after what my man Sasori told me in the Sand Village. You should feel special. This is not just a sideshow. Deidara says to no one in particular. Now tell me where the Jinchuriki of the Seven Tails is! He screams. Tobi keeps running away from Deidara as explosions strike the village all around him. I don't like when Deidara-senpai gets like that! Somebody help! Deidara-senpai is going crazy! Hey, you! An older waterfall ninja hiding behind a building calls for Tobi. Come here! Tobi stumbles his way. He arrives in the back of an alleyway where several ninjas stand guard. In the middle of them, there's a girl with tan skin and green hair tied by a rope. Hello there! My name is Tobi. I apologize for Deidara-senpai's antics. Sometimes he gets too excited. Shut up! Take the Jinchuriki and leave! The man kicks the girl's back, pushing her towards Tobi. Oh! That was way too easy. So this is the Jinchuriki then. Nice to meet you. Whoa, wait! How do I know this is the real one and not just someone transformed? Or a genjutsu maybe? The older ninja growls. Fu, show it to him. Fu concentrates. Grimacing in pain, her eyes turn green and a faint green chakra aura envelops her. That's enough. We don't want you to go ballistic. She closes her eyes. Alrighty then. Tobi gives his thumbs up, picking up Fu and lifting her above his head. He runs back towards Deidara. Tobi dashes through the waterfall Village, explosions still impacting all around him as ninjas scramble to counter Deidara. Civilians run across the bridge over to the massive tree, crossing the great lake that separates most of the village to the tree itself. Stay underneath the tree! It will protect you! Pray for it to give our shinobi strength! Ninjas say, directing the people towards the tree. They're taking shelter beneath the roots. The waterfall ninjas manage to organize themselves and now are repelling most of Deidara's attacks and forcing him to fall back, launching all types of jutsus in a coordinated fashion. Senpai! Senpai! Tobi yells, hoisting the Jinchuriki above his head. I got her! I got her! We got her! Waterfall ninjas avoid Tobi and the Jinchuriki. Nobody tried to rescue her. Many of them seemed relieved after seeing that the Jinchuriki was being captured and taken away. Deidara narrows his eyes, looking down. Huh? How did you get her, Tobi? I captured her using your explosions as cover. Your plan worked, senpai! You're stealing my show, Tobi. I just got lucky. You did everything, really. Deidara dives down towards Tobi. The bird snatches the Jinchuriki from Tobi's hands as Tobi jumps on top of the bird. The show was shorter than I thought it would be. My display on the Sand Village was far more grandiose. The bird veers upwards as Deidara looks down at the village. There are several focuses of fire and columns of smoke rising up in the air. Ninjas run trying to heal the wounded, and civilians run towards the safety of the massive tree. Deidara stops the bird and hovers above the village. Frustrated, looking down, he despises what he sees. Beware that you've only witnessed a glimpse of my art. The older ninja who gave the Jinchuriki to Tobi appears in the middle of the confusion. His face shows hatred and he seems defiant as he stares at Deidara and Tobi up in the air. This isn't art, you fool. You are insane. Oh, is that so, old man? Yes, art is supposed to be something beautiful and inspiring. Something that lasts and gives people hope. What you do is the exact opposite, you maniac. If you are an artist, then I am the Sage of Six Paths. Then tell me, oh great sage, what is the ultimate art for you? The older shinobi points to the tree in the center of his village. The divine tree of Hatetsu. Our great god has given us that gift. The tree which makes our land fertile and prosper. That is real, eternal art. Some ninjas come close to the older man. They attempt to calm him down, to make him stop provoking the Akatsuki, but he can't. He is proud of that tree. He is proud of his village. He wouldn't let this scum defile their village. Stupid old man. True art is that of which only lasts for a brief moment, but for that moment, it is infinite. I don't care. I gave you the Jinchuriki. Just leave us alone now. What? You gave her to us? Deidara says, looking at Tobi, who shakes his head. You told me you got her because of my distractions. Senpai, technically, it was because of your distractions. You were blowing them up, and they got really scared. That is unacceptable. Senpai, we should go. Mr. Zetsu told us to be quick about this mission, right? The bird lifts food to Deidara and Tobi's level. Did you really let yourself be given away just like that? You didn't even try to fight? I can't believe someone would just have such a weak will. It's not that I wanted to be captured, but if my capture allows my village to survive, then I'm fine with it. How unsightly. This is what happens to those who don't understand what art is. Those who are stuck in eternity can never glimpse infinity. Very well then, I will teach you the true meaning of art. Free of charge! Tobi looks at Deidara's expression. He is excited, almost unhinged. Senpai, we should really go! Shut up, Tobi, don't get in my way! Deidara creates a large explosive. What's that? That's the senpai! The C3! It's too much! No, this jutsu will prove my art is superior to theirs. Please, don't attack the village. You already have me. There's no point. These people, they're innocent. Fu pleads in desperation. Oh, they are not innocent. Trust me. Deidara tosses the explosive, forming a hand seal. The clay puppet expands, turning bigger than Deidara's bird itself. It plummets down, making the sound of a falling bomb as it cuts through the air, targeting the great tree below. Please don't do this! Experience the ephemeral infinity, for true art is an explosion. A blast of cataclysmic proportions erupts from the clay explosive, sending a destructive shockwave that hits the entire village. It shatters buildings and tosses ninjas, civilians, and everything in between with unapologetic force. A gargantuan fireball engulfs the entire tree, reducing it to ash in a split second and obliterating the civilians that sought shelter underneath it. The lake surrounding the tree is completely vaporized by the heat. A steaming crater takes the place of the once imposing tree. Sublime, isn't it? Deidara asks Fu, watching the destruction in utter glee. She stares at her village. The tree gone, many people dead, buildings destroyed, her sacrifice in vain. Why did you do this? That doesn't make sense. Why would you kill them? There were people hiding under the tree. Their deaths were magnificent. Green streams of chakra begin to emanate from Fu. Senpai, I think this is bad. Chakra erupts from her with a verdant blast, destroying Deidara's bird, sending Tobi and Deidara flying opposite directions. Tobi screams as his plummets down, but Deidara laughs. Finally, a real opponent. He creates a new large bird to fly on. A falcon this time. Its wings beat so fast they become a blur. The Jinchuriki is enveloped and consumed by the green chakra. It streams into all directions hands like thin laser beams. She let herself be consumed willingly because of what Deidara did. But that was what he wanted anyway. She acquires wings and quickly grows in size. A layer of armor begins to form as an exoskeleton, and then, finally, the transformation is complete. The gigantic flying insect that is the Seven Tails hovers above the Waterfall Village, staring at Deidara. Tobi impacts the Waterfall Village, this time falling on top of an old man. "Once again, it would have been worse if it was a kid," he says, staring up. The Seven Tails ominous figure looms over the village. The people panic. First the explosion, now the tail beast. The creature screeches a roar that shatters the windows that weren't destroyed by Deidara's explosion. "Senpai! We gotta get out of here! This thing's too strong!" Deidara doesn't listen. "Show me your art, Seven Tails," he says, as the beast erupts into motion. A rippling shockwave of compressed air radiates from its body as it comes upon Deidara. The Akatsuki member turns his clay falcon 180 degrees, flying away. The Seven Tails charges a Bijudama and spits it towards Deidara. He lowers himself on the bird's back as the falcon executes an evasive maneuver, dodging the massive sphere of chakra. Deidara launches a dozen fast explosives towards the beast. They impact mid-air, detonating, but don't even scratch the exoskeleton. The Bijudama impacts the ground below, creating a massive explosion a few miles away from the Waterfall Village. Tobi feels a shockwave hitting him in the middle of the village. He starts to run towards Deidara's direction. "Senpai! Senpai, wait! You forgot about me!" Deidara can't hear him. He's too far away now. Already well outside the aerial space of the village and far too concentrated in the fight. The Seven Tails keeps on chasing him. So my C1 didn't even tickle the thing. I can keep up with its speed on my Watatatsu Falcon, my fastest masterpiece, but my attack potency will be an issue. The C2 isn't fast enough to keep this aerial chase, and the C3 doesn't even have self-propelling, which means I'll have to use that. Deidara thinks, looking at the tail beast. The flying monster launches a sequence of Bijudamas towards Deidara, who dodges them all with graceful air maneuvers. They explode in the distance. Deidara looks down at the destruction they caused. "Your art is potent, but it lacks elegance, Seven Tails. You could never hit me with any of those." The tail beast charges another Bijudama, but this time the creature swallows the sphere of chakra. Huh? What are you gonna do? The monster spits a thin beam of green dense chakra towards Deidara. The beam is faster than the Bijudamas. Deidara dodges, but the falcon is hit. The beam shears the wing off. Deidara begins to plummet down, but he quickly creates a new falcon to fly on as the older one falls. The beam doesn't stop, however. The beast continues to expel it from its mouth that's barely visible because of its exoskeleton. Deidara dashes to the side, attempting to evade a laser. The flying monster swings its head towards Deidara, dragging the laser through the air. It impacts mountains far off in the distance, cleaving their mountaintops like butter. Deidara tosses birds that explode in between him and the Seven Tails, creating a large smoke screen in the air, preventing the beam from hitting him. The laser cuts through the smoke, but Deidara is nowhere to be seen. The beam ceases as the tail beast searches for Deidara, looking in all directions. Deidara dives down, using the sun behind him to conceal his presence. He bites off some of his clay, not with a mouse on his hands, but his real mouth this time. The Seven Tails notices Deidara coming at him and begins to charge a new Bijudama. Tobi runs towards Deidara. He blocks the sun with his hand and notices that Deidara is chewing the clay far above. "Senpai! No! Don't use that jutsu! We can't kill it!" "Shut up, Tobi! I know what I'm doing!" Deidara spits a clone of himself as he approaches the tail beast. The clone also lands on the bird. The Seven Tails swallows the Bijudama, and the clone jumps off the bird, landing on the beast's face. Deidara veers upwards with a brisk motion, flying vertically. The Deidara clone disintegrates on the beast's face, as though it turned into ash. Deidara looks down, smiling. The beast turns towards Deidara, aiming up to fire the beam. Deidara forms a hand sign. Cats! The laser erupts from the beast's mouth, but the creature loses lift and plummets down. The laser is shot aimlessly at all directions as the mouth of the falling creature swings everywhere with no control. The seven tails impacts the ground with a rumbling explosion, lifting rocks and dirt, forming a large crater. Deidara looks down at the fallen beast. A smile of utter glee invades his face. He looks up at the sun and opens his arms as the light hits him from above. Behold, true art! Tobi arrives at the crater side, panting, hands on his knees. He looks down and sees the seven tails' green chakra fizzling out, leaving behind the unconscious Jinchuriki. He jumps down and checks her pulse. Deidara lands nearby with his falcon. Senpai! Senpai, you did it! She's alive! She's alive, you're amazing! I told you I knew what I was doing, Tobi. But it's just that the C4, it's too extreme. It could have killed her. Shut up, Tobi. Do you think I have no control over my heart? But of course you do. Of course you do. Now we should get going, right? The leader will want to extract the seven tails as soon as possible. Don't tell me what to do, Deidara says, as the falcon grabs the Jinchuriki, and they both jump on it. Sasuke Uchiha wears a dark cloak and a hood. He looks around Makiri, the large outpost city he found himself in the land of hot springs. There was a lot of people around, many buildings sprawling a variety of commerce, spas, restaurants. This was the second largest city in the nation, only smaller than their ninja village itself. Karin, Suigetsu, and Juugo follow behind him, also wearing dark cloaks. Found anything suspicious yet, Sasuke? Juugo says. Not yet, Sasuke says. Well, it's not as though these mafia bosses like to hang around in the open. The last 5 we've visited were the same, Suigetsu says. Keep looking out for trouble, especially leaf ninjas. Karin, did you sense anything? Karin is caught by surprise. She was staring at Sasuke's back, fantasizing about spending a night alone with him. I didn't sense anything, no. Sasuke, shouldn't we get a rest for a while? We've been looking for Itachi for so long, and all these idiots seem to have no information. We could stay here for a couple of days and enjoy the hot springs, Karin says, imagining herself and Sasuke hugging each other in a hot spring. There's no time for futility. Itachi may be on the move. We'll never catch him if we'll remain still. Yeah, of course. Come here, Sasuke says, darting into a dark alleyway where there's no people around. He bites his thumb, drawing a drop of blood, and weaves one-handed hand signs. Summoning jutsu, a small snake appears. I'm looking for a man called Gaizo. He's a crime lord and is said to be in the city. He's fat, old, and reeks of smoke. Find him for me. Sasuke tells the snake, who gives Sasuke a nod and slithers away. I've never seen anyone using those types of hand signs before, Sasuke. How the hell do you know that? Suigetsu says, trying to form one-handed seals awkwardly. Of course Sasuke can do that. He's not a second-class ninja like you. Shut up, you wench, as if you could do that. Huh? I can! I just choose not to. Bah! Give me a break. It's not something easy to learn. I fought against a guy that could do them once, and decided to train how to perform them. They can be rather useful, but you have to imagine the completed hand signs being formed in your mind. It gets more difficult the faster you weave them, and also more chakra control than usual. Sasuke! I sense a powerful chakra in this city. Much more powerful than the normal ninja. Jiraiya walks around Makiri City, eating some grilled squid. His intel says Sasuke might pass by this city, but he doubts Itachi would be here. This is a big place, and Jiraiya knows the mafia lord that rules over the crime syndicates in this area. Not that they are friends. He is a troublesome man, but it's not bad to have connections. Perhaps Sasuke would be after him, craving information. If Jiraiya gets to Gaizo before Sasuke could, and catch him off guard, he could bring him back to the village without a ruckus, and save Naruto the trouble. Would that be what Naruto really wants? Perhaps not, but it is what's best. In any event, Jiraiya needs to find out where Gaizo's lair is. He's never been there before, but he finds a very interesting place to start, entering a shady-looking tavern and ordering some sake. After asking the bartender for the whereabouts of the best pleasure house in town just for research purposes, he sits uninvited on a table with 3 individuals Jiraiya is certain are criminals. He knows the type, scowling faces trying to look more menacing than they actually are, hidden weapons on their clothes, stubble beards. Classic like thugs. And what do you want, old man? One of the thugs says. Oh, come on, I'm not that old, I'm just 53. That's old to me, the second thug says. The third one looks weird. His gaze isn't focused. He seems to be daydreaming. Who the hell do you think you are? I just wish to talk with Mr. Gaizo. The expression of the two thugs completely changes. They become more apprehensive and hostile. Jiraiya's demeanor changes as well. He becomes more serious and leans forward. Now, you could simply tell me where to find him, or I could force the information out of you. I recommend you take the first option. As Jiraiya utters the last phrase, he is no longer sitting on the table, but directly behind the man. They didn't even see him moving. Have you ever heard about the Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku? You probably should have, since all the guys you work for know who I am. The two men look terrified. The third one still daydreaming. It's in the sewers, okay? You can access it from a manhole in the southwest of the city near a tobacco shop. One of the men says. See? It wasn't so hard. You can go now. Scramble. The two men run away, not looking back. But the third one remains on the table, not moving, his gaze still unfocused. You seem to have more guts than the other two, huh? The man then looks at Jiraiya, staring down on his soul, but his gaze is distant. The leader of the Akatsuki is located in the Rain Village. He possesses the Rinnegan. The time is coming for when the Akatsuki will launch a large-scale invasion on the Leaf Village to capture Naruto Uzumaki. The man says. Jiraiya is perplexed. What did you just say? The man's gaze focuses again. He looks at Jiraiya, seemingly seeing him for the first time. Who are you? Where am I? What's happening? Oh, calm down, friend. What's the last thing you remember? I went to sleep, and now I'm here. What? Was that you? No, it wasn't me. The third man runs away, creeped out by Jiraiya. He doesn't bother chasing him. He's too preoccupied, thinking about what just happened, what he just heard. The small snake returns to the alleyway. It slithers around, relaying a message to Sasuke. He's in the sewers. The entrance is in a manhole southwest of here, near a tobacco shop. Sasuke, what are we going to do about this powerful chakra? Juugo says. I'm faster. I'll go alone, get the information, and we'll flee the city. The last thing we need now is for the Leaf Village to find our location and dabble with our business. Wait, but hold on. Couldn't this powerful chakra just be Itachi himself? Suigetsu says. No, it doesn't resemble Sasuke's chakra at all. It's almost like a polar opposite. Karin says, could this be Naruto? Sasuke thinks, we should go with you, Sasuke, for protection. Even if we won't be as fast, it would be safer. No, stay put in this alleyway. Suigetsu is rather relieved he won't have to be in danger. Sasuke activates his Sharingan and jumps up, landing on the roof of a building. He dashes away above the city streets, using his ludicrous speed to traverse the town. He quickly finds the manhole close to the tobacco shop and weaves hand signs, casting a genjutsu on every person nearby so that they do not see Sasuke at all when he comes down, and lifts the lid of the manhole, entering it, descending into the fetid sewers. Sasuke finds himself in a long underground hallway. The wastewater flows and Sasuke uses his chakra to walk over it. He runs, looking for any signs of a hideout. The sewers are dark, only lit by scattered rays of sunlight. Sasuke spots a thug walking the sewers. The water hits his knees. He definitely isn't a ninja. Sasuke dashes at him. The man doesn't even see Sasuke coming. Sasuke looks at him with his Sharingan and casts a genjutsu. Where's Gaizo? He is 400 meters south, behind the metal double doors, the man says against his will. Sasuke punches him in the stomach, knocking him unconscious and dashing towards the place he indicated. As Sasuke approaches, more thugs appear, doing rounds around the sewers guarding the place. Sasuke punches them one by one as he bolts above the wretched water. They don't even have time to raise their weapons. Sasuke is too fast and silent. Before they know, they are already unconscious. After knocking a dozen thugs, Sasuke sees the metal doors. Weaving one-handed seals, he activates a Chidori spear and carves a round hole on them. The metal offers no resistance. Sasuke kicks the hole and enters the room. The round piece of iron falls, making a loud metallic sound that alerts everyone inside. The place is surprisingly fancy. It looks like a large lobby of a high-end casino. There are several men playing cards, placing bets, and smoking cigars. Security in the place is high. Sasuke counts 20 hot spring ninjas. Which one of you is is Gaizo? Sasuke asks, without a sliver of apprehension. A fat old man smoking a thick cigar wearing a white suit stands up from a lavish armchair saying, I don't know who you think you are, boy, but you'll learn that's not how we work things down here. So it's you. Bring to me! I'll teach him a lesson! The small platoon of hot spring ninjas erupt into motion, some of them drawing swords, kunais, and shurikens, while others begin to weave hand signs. Before any of them are able to dash towards Sasuke or cast any jutsus, they are all sent flying by Sasuke's fluid taijutsu strikes. All ninjas fall on the ground, knocked unconscious by a single blow. Too slow, Sasuke says, as he appears in front of Gaizo, grasping his fat neck, making it drop the cigar, and lifting him off the ground. The man was much shorter than Sasuke. The other patrons who were batting and playing scream and scatter. I won't tell you anything, Gaizo says as Sasuke chokes him. You don't have a choice. Sasuke casts a genjutsu with his eyes. Gaizo's gaze turns unfocused. Where's Itachi? I don't know. I haven't got intel about him in several months. Where are the other Akatsuki? 2 of them attacked the Waterfall Village and captured the 7 tails yesterday. Deidara and his boy scout. Kakuzu and Hidan are dead. I don't know any more than that. Do you know who might know more than that? Kado. Who's Kado? He's a spy. A ninja from the ice village that works for the Land of Iron's feudal lord. Where is he now? I heard he was in Tahuna City, a couple of hours north of here, but my intel says he'll leave today. Sasuke grimaces in frustration. The sun's about to set. This Kaido will probably leave soon. How does he look like? Tall, slim, blonde, green eyes. He carries 3 katanas and has a slashing scar across his face. What else do you know? That is all I know about the Akatsuki. Sasuke releases Gaizo, letting him fall. Jiraiya enters the manhole close to the tobacco store. He was stunned by the information that random guy gave to him. Was that true? Was the guy under a genjutsu? Why did he tell Jiraiya that? Was anyone playing games with him? It doesn't matter. That delayed Jiraiya enough already. He must get to Gaizo before Sasuke does. He runs, looking for Gaizo's hideout. It doesn't take too long for him to find a man floating on the water. He is unconscious. Jiraiya checks for pulse. He's alive. The man floated on his back, so his nose was out of the water. He could still breathe. Is Jiraiya too late? He runs more and finds a line of unconscious men floating on the water along a lengthy hallway. All of them float on their backs. Whoever knocked them out took deliberate steps not to kill them. Jiraiya weaves 2 hand signs and forms his pro barrier, sensing everything around him. He continues to move forward as someone breaches the barrier. Whoever it is, it's walking calmly towards Jiraiya's direction. Jiraiya walks towards the person he can sense in the barrier. He turns left on another hallway and sees in the end of it a metal door with a rounded hole where light emanates from. Backlit by the light, Jiraiya sees a dark figure walking towards him. He can't make it out. Stop right there! Jiraiya yells. The figure keeps on walking towards him without a care in the world. Jiraiya tenses up, assuming a battle stance. When the figure gets within 10 meters of him, a faint ray of sunshine illuminates it from above, revealing the calm face of Sasuke Uchiha. Watch part 31 of the rewrite right here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so already so you don't miss any future rewrites, and like this rewrite so we can reach the goal. Comment below what you thought about this episode, and thank you so much for watching.